In this video, I wanted to review some of the components from itsLearning that the parent and student accounts can see and how that connects to the teacher side. So some of the settings and controls that you have related to those accounts. So the first one is the gradebook. If you click on Follow Up and Reports and click on Gradebook, you can see a gradebook that is on the teacher side. You can add to the gradebook and you can manipulate the assignments within here, the scores, the grades, and things. If you toggle to the student view though, it looks different on the student and parent side. This is what the students see. They can see comments and they can see the grade that's in the deadline. And this is also what the parents see. I want to also stress for an assignment to show up in the gradebook, you have to have a grade scale selected and it has to be, say, add to gradebook in order for it to show up in the gradebook. So when you're building your assignment, it's this box right here where it says assessment scale. If you change this to a letter grade or passed and not passed, then this checkbox of add to gradebook becomes an option. If this is not set, it will not show up on the parent or student gradebook side of things. So that is one way that you can control which assignments show up on the gradebook. The next report that parents and students can see has to do with their personal progress or status report. And so in this report, it's going to list out all of the active resources and assignments, and it will show, put check boxes and if they've read them or engaged with them, and red X's if it's not. This is the most useful when there are folders and when you have reviewed these components to make sure that they are actually components or resources and activities that you want the students to engage with. If all of your curriculum is still turned on and active, that'll kind of skew this report a little bit. So I just wanted to review what that looks like from the teacher side. So when you go to your resources, if this is maybe a piece of curriculum, a folder for curriculum writing, maybe it's some pacing guides or some content that's not necessarily for students and parents to see, you want to deactivate that. And this right here, you might want to check because I think some people may have said no to this. So it appears that this folder is not active, but really everything within the folder is still active. So please review that just to make sure that everything that you need hidden is deactivated. You can also select everything in there and say deactivate. And that way, none of that will now be visible to the parents or the students. So please review your resources folder to make sure that everything that is active is stuff that you actually are having students and your class participants engage with. And the final component that students and parents have access to is the curriculum or the plans. So this is where all of our curriculum is housed, and I recommend you go back to your units and review your plan settings. So you click on these three dots, click on plan settings. And to review the settings, the visibility settings you have for your units. So the description of the unit, the EUs, the EQs, my standards, those may be okay for everybody to see, for my parents to see, but I may not want the performance tasks to show. So I'll have that be teacher only. Maybe I don't. I mean, you guys can kind of determine the settings here for the units, but just be aware that if it's set to everyone, then the parents and students will have access to that. Same with the plan fields. So this is where the lesson plans are written in the curriculum. And so if you have something in your notes topic, let's say, that is written in teacher language, you would want that to be teacher only. The description, the date, these types of things, you can determine if the students can engage with this, and if you pick everyone, then the students and the parents can engage with it. So I would review what you have in your curriculum and in each of those fields to determine if it needs to be turned on for the teacher only or for everyone. And now I just want to show you what those look like from the parent. So I'm in a parent account now. And so what I was meaning from the gradebook, you can see these different assignments that have been added. And there's no grades or comments because this is a sample student, but it does show you what the parents can see on the gradebook. Same with the progress. So it tells you what the student has and hasn't done. And this one actually doesn't have very much turned on, it looks like. Whereas this course may have a little bit more turned on. And so just sort of determining, is my child supposed to be engaging with all of this, yes or no? And then the final thing are the plans. And that's what that little thing is. So they can click here and they can see the plans that are active, as long as the fields are set to be turned on for everyone. So like here, all I can see is the title of the units, and I can see these components within the unit, the lesson plans, and that seems pretty appropriate. So I hope that's helpful in showing you and making the connection between what a parent can see and the teacher side of itsLearning. Please let me know if there's any questions or concerns.